Time to see what a real playmaker can do. Guys, Batsy here, and today we have got the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure Deck Cyberse Link. So obviously this is Yusaku, or what do they call them in the States, Playmaker's deck here. And yeah, it's actually just got all of the new stuff. The big thing is Trigate Wizard over here, Encode Talker, the two big boss monsters that you're going with. This is a great deck to actually get started with all the good Link stuff. You can obviously get the structure deck too, but this is going to have some more important cards. As you can see on the back, they have a full spoiler list, and there are a lot of awesome reprints in here. I won't tell you what they all are. I'd actually much rather show you. So let's go ahead and start our bat opening. Alright guys, so here's what you get in the structure deck. You get a beginner's guide. That's a little disappointing. I was hoping we'd get a full-scale rule book, but you know, it includes all the important stuff, all the zone placement, all the monster types, fusion, ritual, pendulum, synchro, Xyz, and of course the Link monsters now, because people still don't know how to Link summon. It's been like 4 months and people still don't know how to Link summon, so there's that. And of course we get the game mat. It's got the deck list on it, and it's got the contents here, as you can see. Other cards, actually in the middle, it's got a little strategy guide to get you to your mutual link, or co-link as they call it here in the TCG. And of course, other products that they want to sell you, because that'll quote-unquote make your deck better. Admittedly, I think that Firewall Dragon does make the deck a bit better, so that one might be worth it, and you know, Link Spider's always helpful too, so those are two good things. Battle's a Legend, I guess, for general, you know, because they've got a lot of staple synchros and XYZ monsters and a couple fusions. And of course, on the back, the mat looks great. It's got our 3 Link monsters. You got Trigate, Encode, and Binary Sorcereress all there. So actually this mat would look pretty cool if it was a real thing too, so that'd be nice if it was a real computer mat. Might have to look into that. Alright, and let's get started. We'll check the deck out here. So it comes with some sort of Dual Links card at the back of it. We should check this out. Alright, so the Dual Links download card over here looks like it's just advertised the game. It doesn't look like it's anything special. Pity that. So starting with the deck, we have 1 copy of Encode Talker, which requires 2 or more Cyberse monsters. It's a Link 3, the latest in the Code Talker series there. And looks like before damage calculation, if a monster this card points to battles an opponent's monster with higher attack than it, you can make that monster unable to be destroyed by the battle. And if you take no battle damage that's outstanding from that battle. After damage calculation, have this card or 1 monster it points to gain attack equal to the attack of the battled opponent's monster until the end of the turn. Alright, we already got some honest shenanigans over here, I like that. Here's the big one, Trigate Wizard, which requires 2 or more monsters that, as long as they aren't tokens, he's good with it. Also a Link 3. And as it turns out, if this monster... Okay, so it's got 3 big effects. So the big one, if it's co-linked to 1 monster, then any battle damage monsters co-linked to this is doubled. And then if you co-link to another monster, you get the same effect. And then you can target a card on the field and banish it once per turn. That's a spell speed 1, by the way. Ignition effect doesn't have quickie. So we're going to quietly ignore that. And for 3, if you have 3 co-linked to the card, so in addition to the first 2 effects of double battle damage, banishing, the 3rd one that you co-link to this one is going to be, you can negate the activation of any card activated and banish that card. That is outstanding. Now the real question is how you're going to get 3 Link monsters linked to this bad boy. In Dual Assemble Worm, a big Cyberse monster, and it looks like if it's in the hand of the graveyard, you can banish 2 other Cyberse monsters, and then special summon the card, but the attack becomes halved. And then you can only use the effect once per turn, banish 1 card from your hand, banish 1 monster on the field with less attack than this card. Nice, okay. That's a level 8, so there are easy ways to get it out too. And the Cynet Backdoor, that's actually a pretty solid looking card. Target a Cyberse monster you control, banish it, and if you do, add the Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand whose attack is less than or equal to, no, actually just less than the original attack. And then during your next standby phase, you get it back. So this will be good for you can do some shenanigans at the end of your opponent's turn with this card, and then you just get some more monsters to link with. So that's probably an easier way to bring out Cyberse Wizard. Binary Sorcereress, this is like the new proxy dragon over here, honestly, link to. And then I guess, depending on how many co-link monsters you have, if you co-link with one, when this monster battles an opponent's monster and inflicts battle damage, you gain that much life points, so that's kind of neat. And then you get a quick effect if it's co-linked with two. Target two face-up monsters you control until the end of this turn have the attack of one monster, and okay, so you get to move some attack points around. That's pretty neat. Bitron, the new version of Bitron, obviously. Also a level 2 Earth type, so Rescue Rabbit, pretty solid for the deck. Dot Scraper, this one's actually kind of neat, level 1, so it's a 1-for-1 target, also an Earth type. If it's sent to the graveyard, special summon this card. Alright, so that actually might be a good Foolish Burial target too. And then if this card is banished, special summon this card. Nice! And you can use them each once per duel. Cool, so if it gets banished by Pot of Desires, it comes back. And then Cleant, some type of Cyber Ant thing, Backlinker, Balancer Lord, Rom Claudia, Boot Staggered, Cyberse Wizard. This one came out of another booster set. I like the holographic version better. Backup Secretary. It's pretty nice. Stack Reviver also came out of another booster set. Launcher Commander 2. And then for the reprints, we got Trigodia. Summoner Monk, great for swarming. Card Trooper, I think the point of Card Trooper is trying to get some like Dot Scraper into the graveyard, so it special summons itself. Also an Earth type, so a lot of these are great targets for Mrs. Radiant. Debris Dragon, which is a tuner, and that's actually going to be an easy way to get into level 7 or 6 synchro plays, or when that new Crystron Link monster comes out next year, or hopefully early next year. That's going to be a great target for that. We got the Math Man in the house too. Crane, in case you're still playing some Burning Abyss there, that's also an option. Magician of Faith. Jester Confit. I remember this card was hyped for a little while, and it was kind of expensive. I can't remember what the hype was, and people didn't end up using it. Gloat Bulb, which is a pretty solid card. And Kinkabayu, which is also a great card. I used to use this in Red Eyes a lot to summon Beast Eyes Pendulum Dragon. So that's another neat card. And for our spells, we got Soul Charge over here. That's pretty staple in a few decks, especially Hyper, Synchro, and Link sort of decks like this. Shuffle Reborn, I know Zoos were using that for some time. Different Dimension Reincarnation, which is good for getting back banished stuff. Gold Sarcophagus, great card, especially for dinosaurs. You get your Giant Rex back pretty much immediately. Mind Control, in case you need more Link material. Cosmic Cyclone, this is pretty staple here. If nothing else, staple side deck, and it's a great reprint. It's banishing MST, basically. Moon Mirror Shield, this is a huge one in all of rogue decks, and of course we're Arfthau. It's a second 1-for-1 in a sense. And then we got Recoded Alive, which is a new card to me. Target a Link 3 Cyberse Link monster you control that's in your graveyard. And then banish it, then special summon a Code Talker monster from your extra deck. Okay, that's pretty neat. So you could potentially get a higher level Code Talker monster there. That's interesting. Then we got Miracle's Wake, Powerful Rebirth, Premature Return. Banish one card from your hand, target one of your banished monsters, special summon it in face down defense position. That's interesting. So kind of like a weakened different dimension return. Swamp Mirror, Quantum Cat, that's also a new one. Storming Mirror Force, obviously that's a pretty strong reprint. We just got that out of the legendary decks from Yugi too, so that helps. And Dimensional Barrier, which is a very powerful card from some time. Obviously it's outstanding to run here because we run nothing but Link monsters in this deck, so that's great. And then you got another card, Ghost from the Past. Get to banish 2 monsters out of your graveyard, target an attack position monster, and then change its attack to 0. That's pretty nice. So if you're picking good cards that you're going to use for sure, Trigate Wizard's pretty splashable. Binary Sorcereress is alright too. The problem with these two is you can't use tokens on them, so they're not quite as splashable, but they're pretty neat there. I like the Cynet Backdoor. You can use that to keep some links going there, depending on how many Cyberse you're playing. And Dual Assemblorum, also pretty neat too. I like the Encode Talker. I think I like Decode Talker a little bit better right now, but if we're talking about that, some other interesting things, Glow Up Bulb is always a good call. Debris Dragon, I found that very interesting. I don't really find Tragodia very interesting right now. Now to the Cyberse monsters, I'd say the Rom Claudia seems to be one of the cooler ones, and Balancer Lord, that one gets you an extra normal summon, that's pretty neat. And maybe the Dot Scraper too, I think I'd probably run multiples of those. And either Digitron or Bitron would be a good option. So there's that. Let's see, those aside, out of the traps, D-Barrier's great, Storming Mirror Force is great. I kind of like the Recoded Alive. I feel like there's a lot of funky combos you can do with that. Where Arftha is always interesting. Moon Mirror Shield's great. Cosmic Cyclone's great. I feel like we get a lot of good utility out of Soul Charge and Mind Control. So there actually are a number of pretty good cards in this deck depending on what you're trying to do here. So this is probably like a core I'd consider if I was building a pure Cyberse deck. Maybe take a look at the starter deck and a couple other little booster packs there, like starter deck, this, and a Firewall Dragon might actually make a pretty formidable deck. So just to start things. But anyway, on that bombshell, Ace of Bats signing up.